Hi, I'm Chef Lauren here in the Lifestyle Medicine Teaching Kitchen. Today I'll be making crispy oat granola and chia seed pudding. Let's get started. So for our granola, we'll be using rolled oats. Today I have some shredded coconut and walnuts. You can use whatever nuts you prefer. I'm also adding some chia seeds, hemp seeds, and ground flax seeds. A little bit of olive oil, some maple syrup for sweetness. You could also use some honey or whatever your preferred sweetener is, and then a little bit of salt and some cinnamon. You can also feel free to use whatever seasonings you prefer. You could make it seasonal by adding, say, a pumpkin spice. If you're in the fall season, you could use ginger for a little bit of spicy sweetness, whatever seasonings you prefer. And then you just mix everything evenly together, and then you just place it on a sheet tray and spread it out evenly. Now, this granola is going to bake for about 90 minutes in a 250-degree oven, and you'll want to stir it about every 15 minutes to make sure that everything gets evenly toasted. All right, now let's make our chia seed pudding. Chia seed pudding is a really great, quick and easy breakfast that you can make ahead for yourself. So today I'm going to make it in this deli container here. You'll just need some milk. Today I'm using soy milk, but you can use your preferred variety. Some chia seeds, a little bit of maple syrup or honey. Again, you can use whatever you prefer, and just about a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Again, you could make this whatever flavor you prefer by adding different spices or flavoring agents like that vanilla extract. So the chia seeds, the fibers in them will start to absorb the liquid and start to expand, and eventually they will gel up and create a pudding-like consistency. So when you first mix them together, you're going to want to set it to the side for just a little bit to allow the chia seeds to start absorbing that milk, and then check back on it about every 5 minutes to make sure that the seeds are not clumping up, and you'll want to recombine them a little bit. So if the consistency doesn't turn out well the first time or you don't like it, you can go ahead and keep slowly adjusting the quantity of milk. Different milks can contribute to a slightly different consistency, so you'll have to experiment just based on the milk that you're using and the texture that you most enjoy. This could then go into your refrigerator for several hours or overnight, and then you could eat it tomorrow. Let's take a look. So here I have some chia pudding that I prepared yesterday. You can see how thick this consistency is. If this is too thick for your liking, you can always go ahead and add a little bit more of that milk. So let's build a bowl with our chia seed pudding. I have some of that granola. We've got some bananas and strawberries. You could choose whatever fruits you prefer. This is just to add a little bit more sweetness from our natural sources. And we're also adding some really beautiful color with these raspberries. We have a lot of flavors and textures here. I'm adding a little bit of natural almond butter for some nuttiness, and then a little sprinkle of cinnamon. And there we are, our chia seed pudding bowl with lots of flavors, colors, and textures. And chia seed pudding is a great base for a breakfast because, as you saw, there were minimal ingredients in that recipe and the flavor is quite neutral. It will just vary depending on what you add to it. So then you can build whatever flavor profile you most enjoy. Today we chose our crispy oat granola as one of our main toppings. Great for adding texture in contrast to the creaminess of the chia pudding. We have some nice sweetness from the bananas, the nuttiness of the almond butter that we put on top, some tartness and sweetness from these raspberries. So all together we have creamy and crispy and sweet and nutty and tart. And so we have this really flavorful and really satisfying breakfast that is also really easy to prep ahead of time. You can make up several jars or deli containers of chia seed pudding on the weekend or on a day when you have time, and you saw how easily that came together. And then you can store them in the refrigerator for up to about a week and then pull them out as needed. It's something that's really easy to bring with you to work or to send as a snack with children. You can assemble it in advance, just like this, and bring it with you in a container, or you could bring your jar of chia pudding and assemble it into a bowl or a parfait later on, right before you eat it. So we really love this chia seed pudding recipe because it's able to be modified in so many different ways to so many different personal preferences and is really easy to assemble and really easy to serve and take with you. So thanks so much for joining us today. We hope that you enjoy these recipes and you're able to make and enjoy them at home. We look forward to seeing you again soon and another one of our cooking videos.